Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Wonderful
Jocelyn.
people today. Thank you. Everyone, once again, thank you for being there today. We'll be starting, let's give it 2 minutes, more minutes, so we get some other people connecting, and we'll be starting very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was cooking show for this time, so that that's
Morning, Mira. Hi, Mira.
Hi. I don't see Mira.
Is that
Hi.
Mira?
She's wearing a mask.
Oh, I didn't recognize her.
Hello, Mira.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello, you're looking cozy.
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you?
I'm in my sitting room.
Yeah, but where on the planet is what I meant.
Oh, I'm in Lachine, Quebec, Canada.
Okay, that's why you're also cozy. Warm. Yeah, it's snowing, isn't it?
It's not cold outside though, Mary.
It isn't, eh?
No.
Well, you know what? Minus something. Definitely
Yeah,
minus.
-2.
Minus 2.
My name is Kathy. Good morning, Marilyn.
Good morning. Who's that? Kathy.
Yes, Kathy.
Om Namah Shivaya. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I don't see you.
No,
Well, that,
I'm here.
yeah. No, because I don't see all the faces. As long as you can hear me and
Yes, I can.
with this equipment. How are you, Kathy?
I'm very fine.
Thank God.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Marilyn. Finally, first time. This is Roberto Resner from Mexico.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
Mexico.
Roberto, welcome. Bienvenido.
Gracias.
Hola, hola.
It's an honor. It's really an honor.
Ya comprendo mucho español. Ya habla poquito, but comprendo mucho.
Wow, muchísimo.
Muchísimo. Ya, muchísimo.
Tenemos que traerte a México.
I used to go. I went many times to Mexico. And
Okay,
I
we
will
need
go
to bring
again.
you back.
I will let you know. One of my colleagues, Mikel Lizaraldi, goes too. But I've been many times.
Wow. Which part of Mexico?
Well, I did some conferences with the university. I went to Mexico City, and then I went to some of the islands. They had conferences. I was connected with the university because we were trying to bring this understanding at a university level, which we did. So I was working with a group of psychiatrists at that time.
Oh, okay. Well, all of you have your home, as we say in Mexico. All of you have your home here in Querétaro, Mexico.
Thank you.
It's,
Welcome.
3 hours to the north of Mexico City, and it's where the independence of Mexico started.
Okay.
Buenos días, Roberto. Entiendo muy bien español también. Estoy en Quebec, pero entiendo muy bien español. Podemos hablar en español si usted quiere.
Buenos días, Garland. Wow. Excelente español.
Sí. Yo puedo hablar en inglés, francés, español, ruso.
Wow.
Sí. A mí me gusta mucho los idiomas, pero yo pienso que los otros prefieren inglés.
Yes, in my case, I speak Spanish as my mother language, then German as from my mother, Elizabeth Rosner, and English.
Oh, nice.
That's
Fantastic.
That's very good. And now you could add French.
I'm poor.
You could tell I'm from Quebec.
Definitely.
Ok, amigos. Al parecer muchos hablan diferente lenguaje, nosotros también. Felicitaciones, pero vamos a regresar al inglés, por favor.
Yes. Sí.
All right, everyone. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you for being here today. And it's clear by now that we're on a world, right? And we understood that this is not the work that we can do alone. That's something, it's way better, right, to be sharing experience and helping others. And while we're helping others, we're helping ourselves. That's something we learn. And if you didn't learn it yet, I'm sure you're gonna be learning it soon. Today, as I said, I'm going to let the presenter today doing not only presenting herself and also presenting the team. And I want to tell her in advance that there is a lot of questions waiting for today. So, Mrs., all yours.
Asa tama sat gamaya, tamasama jotir gamaya, miturma amratam gamaya. Loving and living Lord God, lead us from the darkness to the light, from the unreal to the real, and above all, from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. Om Tat Sat. Good morning, good afternoon, buenos dias, buenas tardes, bonjour, wherever you are, and welcome to a little session on trying to understand the beautiful world of mediumship, which takes us into the beautiful world of understanding that there is no death. I want to thank Mr. Saxena and Mira. I have known them for many, many years. I want to thank them for the tremendous work that they do for humanity and for the opportunity for me to talk a little bit on one of my very, very favorite subjects. Professionally, I'm a behavioral scientist with 2 doctorates in special education, because when I was very young, 6 years old, I had a vision from someone I didn't know who it was. It turned out he was the great saint Master Shivananda from the Himalayas. And he told me that I must devote my life to sick children. And so that was what I did. I went obviously to university and started setting up programs in special education. And when I was very young, I had the great opportunity of meeting Swami Vishnu Devananda. And that's how my life has been. So I have been a practicing yogi ever since I'm a teenager, and have really tried to devote my life to helping people understand why we are here, and to realize I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am Sat Chit Ananda, which means I am existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. When I was just 6 years old, I started having visions of my dead relatives. Obviously, I didn't know what they were, but I started telling my parents. My parents come from Poland, and most of their family was murdered in the Second World War. And we were brought up to love everybody, respect everybody, all traditions, all religions. My family was a very strongly believing family, religious family. And I was brought up in the part of Montreal where there were a lot of Catholics, you know, the nuns with their beautiful habits, etc. And from the time I was 6, when I started describing these people, my mother asked me, how do I know that? Anyways, to make a long story short, she took me to a chief rabbi, and the rabbi said I had a gift and that she should just let me say what I want to say. So at that age, Master Shivananda told me I must never eat dead animals. And so from that day to this day, I have never touched any meat, fish, chicken, eggs, but never. And I spent most of my teenage years with Swami Vishnu Devananda. I was teaching, studying, etc. And then I had the great fortune of, in 1972, meeting the man who became my husband, Father Dr. John Rossner. He lives in heaven right now. He is an Episcopal priest, Anglo-Catholic, and he also is very, very closely connected to the Shivananda ashram. And so we decided that we were going to give our life to helping people understand consciousness. And in fact, my husband was teaching full-time at Concordia for many years. I was part-time at McGill, Concordia, and full-time at Collège Vanier. And what he did, he started setting up master's and PhD programs in studies of consciousness. And Mr. Vinesh, and Mira, and I love them dearly as if they're my sister and brother. They have also the idea of understanding consciousness, the study of consciousness, Center for Consciousness. And Father John, he actually taught courses in consciousness, higher consciousness. And as far as I'm concerned, I went through many, many years of my life teaching, traveling, and I became very, very interested in how children learn about spirit and what is really the purpose of life. And I discovered, because my work has been in psychiatry for over 40 years. And, I used to set up behavioral programs for screaming children, adolescents, etc. And I never found someone who did not get better. And the psychiatrist used to say, it's because you believe and you work so hard, etc., etc. Anyways, to make the long story short, I began to realize that all children are born with this gift. And Father John and I, we set up the Institute and the Fellowship, two international organizations, one connected with the United Nations, to be able to further this work. And so my work has taken me all over the world. And for the last 25 years, I go to Africa for a couple of months a year to help the dying children. Now, the point I really want to make is, I'm not here to convince you, but I know that there is no death. I'm trained as a yogi, but I'm also trained as a Christian, as a Jew, as a Hindu, as a Sufi. I understand the traditions. And if we look at the traditions, they all talk about something happening after the change called death. And I know, because I see into the other world, that we live after the change called death. And I really believe, even now, you see fighting in Ukraine, you see fighting, if you look at the United Nations information, they will tell you that there's 56 wars going on right now, not just in Ukraine. And if we understand karma, we understand that there is no death, then we will never, never kill another. We won't lie, we won't cheat, we won't steal people's monies. And actually, Mr. Vinesh and Mira, they came to so many of our conferences, and I'm sure they would remember this guy, Daniel Brinkley. And his book is Saved by the Light. A big, big guy. I mean, I'm very small like Mira. A big, big guy. He was standing on top of at the platform, and he was telling he was a very, very good killer in the Vietnam War. And he killed so many people, and he was so happy he was able to kill them. And then what happened? He was struck by lightning on the streets of Florida. And as he was struck by lightning, he died, and then he came back. And when he came back, he started talking about that he saw these people, that he died. So he thought something was wrong with him. He thought he was going out of his mind. So he went to the psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist that he went to is someone that Mr. Saxena and Mira know very well, Dr. Raymond Moody. And Dr. Raymond Moody, some of his earliest work was done with Daniel Brinkley. To make the long story short, Daniel Brinkley was struck by lightning again. And this time, twice. It's in his book. It's called Saved by the Light. I think it's in about 30 languages. Anyways, I'm friends with him to this day. And what happened the second time he was struck by light, he saw these people that he killed. They came right to him and they said to him, "You will never find peace unless you ask forgiveness for every one of us that you killed." And he came out of that state, and he said here in Montreal at our platform, at the hotel, he said, from that day to this day, he spends all of his life helping children of war and helping people know that there is no death. Thank God I don't have experience like that. I have been seeing spirits since I'm 6 years old. I hear them, I see them. And for me, it's very natural. But what I know, because I teach mediumship, is that everyone has these abilities. And when we're children, we're born with these abilities. And basically, there are two kinds: to see physical phenomena, or it's the mental phenomena. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. And if we understand these gifts, we can become much more aware of what we're doing. When you look at the research, look how many people get divorced, how many people have broken businesses, how many people fight with each other. But none of that would happen if we would look at the auras, if we would listen to the inner voice, if we would listen to the inner sound, none of that would happen if we would understand what is really happening. So I encourage everybody to try to awaken, to try to develop, to try to discover their abilities. And of course, as Mira and Dinesh know, not now because of the center is still closed, but we hope we're going to open soon. I've been married to Father John for 38 years. We never had one fight, although we were in different fields altogether. And then we both took care of a Roman Catholic nun, Sister Leona, who just a few months ago made her transition and went into the other world. And she said that understanding spirit helped her as a better Catholic nun, helped her understand what happens after the change called death. So Father John and I set up programs, and hopefully when this is all over, I invite you to come and to, if you want to learn how to awaken these abilities, because I don't look upon it as a power. I look upon it as a gift. It's a gift with which we have been born. And if we can understand that gift, then I repeat, we can learn to focus on what are the signs and what are the symbols. And the truth really is we are all here on the earth for a purpose. The great Saint Shivananda says, we come to earth to do what? To serve, love, give, purify, meditate, and realize. And when you look at people like Saxena and Mira, what do? They serve, they love, they give, they purify, they meditate, they realize. So that's what our purpose is. So it's not an accident that we have all joined here from wherever we are, but it's to encourage one another. And I'm very excited because, I was so young when I started this, and now almost from every profession, people want to know what happens after the change called death. And I am convinced, because Spirit has told me, that if we know that we live after we die, then we will live in a very, very different way. If I know I have to face you after I die, am I going to cheat? Am I going to lie? Am I going to, have multiple relationships? Am I going to pretend that I'm going to do something and not do it? So it helps us realize responsibility. So when we understand spirit, we realize that there are different principles. We don't have rules or regulations, but principles, which include that there's only one race, the race of humankind. There's only one major emotion, the emotion of love. And truthfully, that life goes on after the change called death. I know some people talk about eternal hell and you're going to burn and you're going to do this. That has not been my experience. There are, unfortunately, lost souls, people who hurt, people who lie, who steal, and many people who make a suicide. They don't know where they are after they die. And so in spiritualism, we help people understand how to help them go to the light. And so my work as an educator, special education, has shown me that no matter what a person does, everyone is looking for peace. Everyone is looking for justice. Everyone is looking for une raison d'être, a reason to be. And so from my perspective, until we know that there is no death, I don't think we can ever have peace. Like you, I've seen thousands of people. The biggest fear people have is death. What are they afraid of? That I'm going to become nothing. I'm going to dissolve. I'll never see my family. I'm going to burn in hell. But none of that is true. That's the point. None of that is true. We go into the other world with all of our thoughts, all of our actions, and all of our deeds. It's all part of us. And when we go into the other world, we take off our makeup and we're right there. As Dr. Raymond Moody says, and Mr. Vinesh and Mira, they brought him in here last year. And as he says, when we're going out of the body, we go through what we call a personal life review. And what is the question? The question is very simple. What have you done for humankind? Not how many degrees did you have? Where did you travel? What have you done for humankind? Of course, many people do not listen to the signs. They do not listen to the symbols. And if they don't listen to the signs and symbols, you know, they realize that they've made mistakes. But so what? If you make a mistake, you pick yourself up and you keep on going. And so we have so many opportunities now, especially at this time. And here, I mean, at this level of consciousness, to realize who we really are. And until we can understand that we are not the body, we are not the mind, but that we can. And in fact, I've just been teaching a course for the Shivananda ashrams. I've been teaching a course on healing of body, mind, and awakening of the soul. And to help people understand that if we can learn how to control the mind, which is one of the main aspects of yoga, and of course, Saxena, Mira, they teach yoga. If we can control the mind, then we can control psychosomatic illness. If we can control the mind, we can control fear, phobias, addictions, traumas, turmoils. We don't need those. And a lot of people have those conditions because they are afraid of having the responsibility of being well. You know, we've had so many conferences here, and I didn't see all of you who are there, but I certainly know Mr. Peck, and I know Kathy, Kat Funso, and come to our events, and people from every tradition, they're all talking about the same thing. The great Sufis, the Kabbalists, you know, that we are on the road to discovering something. And I want to say, no matter what's happening in the outside world, that there is a creator, there is a God, there is a great master. And when we go into the other world, we don't just suddenly go into a huge hall. It doesn't work like that. There are different lokas, different spheres, different levels of consciousness. And according to how we have lived, when we cross this veil, we go to a particular frequency. And just as we have 7 basic chakras in our energy system and 2 above here, there are also 7 basic levels of consciousness. There are 7 basic, 7, when we think about it, 7 basic nodes, 7 basic colors, 7 basic levels of consciousness, 7 continents, etc., etc. So we go to a particular level according to how we have lived. And the purer we have lived, the higher our level of, the higher will our neshama, which is our spirit, the higher our spirit will go. And so I encourage everybody to learn about spirit and to really realize that there's no death, because the greatest fear people have is death. And I can tell you as a medium, and people come and call me from all over the world, people fight so much over inheritance. Oh, and the hardest thing for people when they're dying is what? If they die not having forgiven themselves. And I want to stress that. Very often when people die, you know, I've had so many experiences, people die and they come to me from the spirit, they say, oh, I hope she doesn't find that hidden letter, or I hope he doesn't know this, or I hope this, I hope that. You know, not long ago, I saw a person and I saw a spirit, and the man said, I want to say hello to my daughter. So I said, okay, your father is here. Then another man pops up from spirit. He says, no, he's not the father, I'm the father. Oh my God. In the spirit, 2 men are saying, who's the father? You're the father. And then the woman, much to my surprise, said, that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out who is my real father, because my mother had a lover, and I don't know if I'm the prodigy of the lover or the prodigy of my father. So in other words, we go into the other world, we take everything with us. We can't hide anything. Everything goes with us. But what's really marvelous is that we keep on learning. We keep on evolving in the spiritual world. And so it's not religion. I mean, religion comes from the word religio, which means to unite body, mind, and spirit. Like yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yug, which also means to unite body, mind, and spirit. But you know, the truth is that many people get the signs and they don't want to follow the signs. They say, oh, no, I'm going to change him. I'm going to change her. If you enter into a relationship, I'm going to change him. I'm going to change her. For sure, that relationship is not going to work very well. So by understanding spiritualism, we realize that we have all these different facilities and all these different faculties. So we have clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, we have psychometry. If someone comes to me, usually I say, write your name, and I don't look at it, I just hold it. And from that, I can get the vibration. Or someone will show me a picture and I'll say, okay, from the picture, I can tell you many, many things. And so I want everyone to realize that even if you believe it or you don't believe it, I don't want to change your opinion, but think about what is going to happen after the change called death. Did you ever have a dream of someone who died? Think of the times where you knew you should do something, but you didn't do it anyways. But if you didn't do it, you didn't do it. So through understanding life after death, we can overcome the fear, because the greatest fear people have is there's a spirit here. The greatest fear people have is that they are going to die and they don't know where they're going to go. But if you know where you're going to go, what a joy is it? And then people always say to me, how can you be so happy? Your husband is in heaven world, your parents are in heaven world, your brother is in heaven world, Sister Leona is in heaven. Why shouldn't I be happy? They are in the higher realms and I see them and I hear them and I can talk to them and they can talk to me. But you also can learn to hear them and to see them and to talk to them. What I would like to do, if some of you would like, see, I don't know how to work this thing too much. I might be able to get a few pictures here. And if I get a few pictures, maybe I can even try to give a couple of you a message if you'd like. But I think what might be a good idea right now is maybe some of you have some comments, maybe if some of you have some questions. And by the way, our center is right downtown. If you check IIHS at IIHS, you can see my background, Father John, Sister Leona, and that our center is a beautiful little center, as Vinesh and Mira know, but it's been closed and hopefully we'll be able to open it up soon. So does anyone have any questions or any thoughts you'd like to share?
For the question, please, you can use, remove your microphone. Switch you to your microphone on, and you can click on the hand to say you have a question so we can organize and go one after another. I was going to start with.
If nobody wants to start, I have a question from Marilyn, since she knows me very well.
Yes.
Marilyn, you know that I was in a couple of groups before I left and sort of.
I
got
can't
more in
hear a word
contact
you're
with you.
saying. No, I cannot hear
Oh.
you. Could you repeat?
Okay, yeah, you know that I was in a couple of other groups and I left them. And my question was about the competition between the various groups. You know that when I was in those groups, I myself was teaching. If you stay in this group and if you follow our teaching, when you leave this life, you are going to go to the 5th level, the soul plane. And then I myself was teaching people, if you leave this group and you go to a group like Marilyn Rosner, you are going to go down in consciousness. And when you leave this plane, when you die, you're going to go to the astral plane. So I myself was teaching that what you're doing is low level. And as long as you do what I'm doing, hey man, you're going to this high level. And
Thank you for sharing that. As soon as anyone says, if you go here and there, I always say, walk and walk away, take a straight walk, you know. So I say we pray for them and we bless them. There, many people condemn one another because they don't understand or because they're afraid.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody else want to share anything?
Yes, we're going with Usha.
Yes. Hi there. I didn't introduce myself. I just came in. I was invited by Brian. I'm in Brazil right now. And when I got in, and guys are talking about cold, I just left the pool. It's summer here. Anyway, I want to tell you guys that I've met Marilyn like, I don't know, 26, 27, even more, many years ago. And Marilyn and her work in Montreal is amazing. Through her, I met some Brazilians in one of her meetings, annual meetings with Divaldo Franco. We did some work there. and her work is amazing about like making everybody aware of the other side. I remember that the first time I went to one of those meetings, I don't know, the International Fellowship, annual meeting, whatever the name is, it doesn't matter. I just remember I was introduced to so many points of views of the people that were talking there. And some people even don't know those things today, so ahead of the time they were. And I just want to thank Marilyn for all her work. It's amazing.
Thank you. You
And
know,
I'm here.
I've been to Brazil many times, and I went with Swami Vishnu Devananda, and we met. Of course, we used to bring Divaldo Franco in here every single year, and I'm still in touch with him. He's 95 now, and he's not doing very much work. And also, we were connected with Chico Xavier, and some of the greatest spiritistas that we ever met came from Brazil. Thank you very much for reminding me of my wonderful times with Brazil.
Good. Just want to say hi to everybody, and I'm also into consciousness. Oh my gosh, my English. But
1 minute, the
I'm
lady
just
from
gonna
Brazil,
listen now.
the lady from Brazil, I always recommend, and all the teachers here, the work of Allan Kardec, especially the Spirits book and the Mediums book. And that helps people really understand what happened, how it happened, and really it helps people understand the other world.
Thank you. We're going now
Thank you,
with
guys.
Roberto.
Thank you. I will try to make this short in order to explain my relation here. Everything with Marilyn for me has been always about symbols. I don't know her in person. First time I heard the name of Marilyn was in 1998, before my mother passed away, Elizabeth Rosner. You asked me once, Marilyn, if your husband was related to our family. I really don't know. The only that I know is that my mother asked me that when I had the doubts, try to contact you. I never put attention really to this until 2012, when I contacted you by phone for first time, and you were so kind to take the call, and we were for 1 hour on the phone speaking about several stuff. I have been having similar situations like Marilyn since I was 9 years old, with persons. Actually, I do believe that the spirit that takes care of me is my late uncle, Harry, German too. But the difference is that Harry, he passed away when he was 3 years old, almost 30 years before I was born. And he has been taking care of me for all that time. He actually saved my life from a very strong shooting in Guatemala.
Wow.
And since then, I have been having all this contact and symbols with many people that I don't know. The story is longer, and I don't want to take more time with you. But Marilyn, you talk about the symbols. I know the symbols are coming. Like today, this invitation, I was not even planning to be in this. I woke up today at 4:30 in the morning, and I start checking the Facebook, and suddenly I see again this invitation for this talk with you. Then these are the kind of symbols that sometimes come to me. But
Yeah.
how can you focus on so many symbols when it's so difficult to focus on them or to even understand them? Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you very much. I do, because my husband's name was Rosner, and he's from Europe. His family is from Europe. So whenever I see the name Rosner, I'm so interested in knowing if perhaps we have a little bit of a relationship. But symbols are happening all the time. Basically, there are three basic symbols, three kinds of symbols. There are universal symbols like the sun, the sky, the earth, animals, etc. And there are culturally conditioned symbols. And then there are individually conditioned symbols. So when we see a symbol, we have to ask ourselves, is that a universal symbol? Is it something connected with a particular culture? Or is it something that is connected with me, myself. And as a medium, when I'm giving a message and I will see something over the head, and then it's quickly, I will ask, what does that mean? But also to say to you and to everybody, we are born with spirit guides. No one is born alone and no one dies alone. So when we come here, we come with a group of spirit guides. And we have guides that work with our healing, guides who work with our career, guides who work with our safety, guides who work with our mind, guides who work with our spiritual evolution, and we have universal guides. And these guides also correspond to the different levels of consciousness, or as we say in yoga, the different bodies that we have. And actually, we can learn about those quite easily. And so I do want to say to you from Brazil, thank you for, Rasa, thank you for getting in touch with me. And I look forward to meeting you one day, maybe in Brazil or maybe in Canada.
I will definitely, I promise you already once that I'm going to go to Canada, and I would try to feel as long as COVID let us travel better. But yes, we definitely need to meet this. Of course, it's a lot of question, a lot of experience. I have been able to save 3 lives already in my life, in my travels. And I mean, I really mean it, from they were already dead. And for some reason, the spirit helped me to help them. That's why my life changed from marketing, and now I'm working in a company that saves lives every day all over the world.
Wonderful. I want to say something. You talked about your grandfather who died when you were 3 years old. You see, when
uncle.
we're born, uncle. When we're born, we come with a group of spirit guides. Now, sometimes our loved ones can help us and guide us. Very often they will, but they're not our basic spirit guides. It could be from our family, it could be from a past incarnation, or it could be from someone in the universe. So it's wonderful that you know someone is guiding you, you feel it. And by the way, we can learn, that's one of the things we learn here, is to learn how to work with the aura, to learn how to read the aura, to learn how, even by working with the hands. You know, when I was in Brazil a few times, and I went to some courses, I went to some classes, and I actually watched them as they were training the little children to develop trance. I also spent a lot of time in the former Soviet Union, and in fact, in the exact area where all this fighting is going on right now, I was stationed. I went there 8 times. Father John went, Sister went. I was invited to help organize their psychiatric units, and I did. I brought in the behavioral system there, and I was able to meet with who they called very famous mediums there. And it was quite interesting what they were teaching the children to do when they were very young. They would take like big pictures of people, like life-size photos, and they would train the children with their hands, as we would train blind children, you know, to touch, and they could pinpoint exactly where the person had some kind of a weakness and illness, etc. So there was a lot of work going on in those days. And of course, there was that very, very well-known book many, many years ago, Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain. And really, nothing is new. The spirit has always been. We are spirit, we were spirit, we will always be spirit. We're not going to be more spirit after we die. After we die, we will grow in consciousness, but not in our neshama, in our atman. We are born as spirit beings, and sometimes we put on this dress and sometimes we put on another dress. And so to understand our past, to understand our heritage, and to understand our early life, if we put those 3 areas together that I have found in my work in psychiatry, that if we put those 3 aspects together, then we can really find out what is the goal, what is the purpose, and what is the mission.
Thank you. I'm going to, if there is no other hand for now, so let me go with my question. But first, let me try to put it on context. I heard that you said that we all have that capacity,
Yes.
and I'm assuming that there is a way to work on that and develop that. But in my case, it's somehow frustrating to have something in your head like telling you, and sometimes pushing you to do something. And for example, I just recently, I think that happened on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I had to go to work for my company. It's about 6 hours away in another province. And the day before, I had that, because sometimes I have that voice telling me to not go. And it was like, how I'm gonna tell my work I'm not gonna go there, and for what? There is no way to justify that. And I call my office and I say, listen, do you really need me there? Because I think this is for external, because we have what we call external channel and stuff. And they said, yeah, we need you because the guy who was supposed to do that, he got COVID and he could not go. So, so okay. And all right. So we went the car and I went there and I went with my wife. I said, let's also take the time and do take a little vacation. And on the way there, my tire exploded. Somebody came to help, offered to help. And by the time I was changing the tire, when I stand up, they stole everything I had in the car. My wife, my computers, equipment, and I could not say to my wife what was so frustrating to me, because what was so frustrating to me is that I knew before I even started the car that I was not supposed to go. And then that was the part that was, it's not the fact that they stole this, they stole that. It's like, and it's so, okay. And we took the car and we keep going, and then we went to the police station, make report and all the blah, blah. And the day after, since the tire, we had to bring the car to the place because that was a rental car. And I called the office. They said, yeah. We spoke to the Avis people. They said, you have to go to the airport and stuff like that. And I put the stuff in my phone and I see there is an Avis. And that voice again tell me that's where you have to go. And I said to the guy I was talking to the phone, are you sure I have to go to the airport? Yeah, I just spoke to the person. They said you have to go to the airport. And I hang up the phone and I said to my wife, you know what? It's time that I listen to myself. And I started the car and I was on my way to that place that I decided to go. And then my phone ringing and they said, hey, we just spoke to the lady. She said, you need to go to, and I said, let me guess.
Very good.
And they said, yes. Okay, no worry, I'm going to go there. And I go up and I look at my wife and I start laughing. And I said, and today you're just saying it, but it's, most of us, me, for example, I came from a religious background where the word medium, magic, stuff, those things just push you on, from where I came from, just hearing that is just changing the side of the word.
Yeah.
It's not something, that's something we've been grow up to know, that's no touch. But that's putting in context. Now how can I, because it's frustrating. Sometimes it's like what they tell, what you hear you have to do doesn't make sense. You find out the sense later, but at the moment, it doesn't make sense and you don't see how that can be done, in my case, this week, that cost me, I think I learned it hard, but how, since you said that's something we can learn, how someone like us, we're not child anymore. I don't think there is no challenge there. How can someone like us?
Thank you very much for sharing that. And actually, if we understand, 1 minute, my picture's gone away. I need my little helper to help me. Harika, where are you, dear? My pictures went away. Where are you? Show me. My picture went away.
Oh, you're back.
Okay, no, she's here with me all morning. I didn't want to take a check, but I want to say that what you have shared, Justin, is really very, very important. And it's really by experience. So the next time you get a thought, and actually the thoughts are so subtle. And the more we tune in, and people can I teach techniques, how to become aware, how to feel the energy field, how to know, say for instance, if I'm reading for a person and I see a word like over the head, then quickly my spirit guide will tell me, oh, that doesn't belong to that person. It belongs to someone who died. And then it's like with practice. So it's always, is it a universal symbol? Is it a culturally conditioned symbol? Or is it a personal symbol? If you would like, I'll just give a few examples because she's here. She can help me to see some pictures. If some of you would like, I don't know who I would go to. I can try to give a few messages. Jocelyn, could you ask them if that's okay?
Yes, please. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm the host.
For them, are you sure they're going to say it's okay? Okay, so when I call your name, I'm going to call your name because I see your name written, and I'm going to ask you to wave your hands, but I'll need the girl to work with me because I can't move the thing to see more pictures. I explained Vinesh and Mira, they know I'm technology not here. Harika, stay with me, please, because I'm going to want some pictures here. So when I come to you, when I call your name, I just want you to raise both hands and just repeat your full name. No information, just repeat your full name. Is that okay? And if you prefer that I not give you a message, you say, I do not want a message. And that'll be okay too. Mr. Jocelyn, can I come to you first, please?
Yes.
Can I give you a message? Are you open to it? Yes. Jocelyn, as I'm very much in your vibration, there's a lady standing behind you. She is your mother's mother, your grandmother. And she talks about the tremendous influence, the tremendous strength that she had. She was a very strong believer in the Holy Spirit, in God. But she says that there was a situation that occurred within the family which created a kind of a, I don't want to say fight, but a kind of a split, if you would understand this, please. But you understand that? She wants you to know, sir, that they are all connected in peace at this time right now. Also, I want to say something to you. You talked a little bit about your work. Wherever you live is okay now, but that is not where you're going to be. Your soul is international, and that means your mission is to go to different nations, different cultures, and to work with different kinds of people. There's also in your father's family a man, he was quite young, maybe 18, 20. It was a tragedy, a tragic accident that he had. Do you understand that? He comes very close to you and he says, I am okay now, and I want you to let my family know that I am okay. I want to leave with that and want to say God bless you. Is that okay?
Okay.
You're in a shock, eh? It's okay too. Okay, may I come to Jocelyn? Jocelyn? Say your name. I need your voice.
Yes, my name is Jocelyn Boucher.
Okay, and if you prefer, anyone prefers a message in French, you tell me français. Je peux parler avec vous, vous préférez anglais, français?
Peut-être en français, je vais mieux comprendre.
Oui. Jocelyn, oui. Jocelyn, quand je suis dans votre vibration, je vois que maintenant, il y a quelque chose de très, très important dans votre vie. C'est le temps pour vous de changer quelque chose complètement. Je vois un enfant qui est né au ciel. Pas un avortement, mais pas comme une fausse-couche. Je vois une fausse-couche dans la famille, comprenez ça? Aussi, madame, je vois pas une, pas deux, mais je vois 3 enfants qui sont en arrière de vous, de votre famille. Et je vois aussi que les choses que vous faites maintenant, c'est OK, mais vous ne ferez pas ça tout le temps. C'est le temps pour vous de commencer à changer quelque chose. Et c'est le temps. Et aussi, quelque chose dans la vie personnelle est un peu difficile, mais ça va changer pour le meilleur. Merci. Can I speak to Daryl Susan Brown? Hello?
Hello, Daryl Susan Brown.
Daryl.
Yes.
May I speak to you, dear? Daryl, as I'm very much in touch with your vibration, I see over your head the word career, and I hear Spirit saying that there is a new door that is opening up for you because you have been wanting very much to make a kind of a change as far as career is concerned. Would you understand that, please? Yeah. I'm also looking at studies, and Spirit says, do not hesitate. Go ahead and do that. It'll do very well. We are not allowed by law, and I don't diagnose or prescribe, but I do see a spirit doctor with you who says that you have been contemplating making some very big changes as far as your nutrition is concerned. Would you understand that, please? And this spirit doctor says that if you do that, you will find the changes that you are looking for. There is a lady who's behind your left shoulder, and she's coming not as a mother, but as a mother's mother, your grandmother. And she speaks about your mother. And she says, you know how difficult it was for your mother when she was a child, you were told. You understand that, dear? And your grandmother says that's why she was not able to do more for you than she did. But she loves you and wants you to know that she understands you more now. God bless you. Women of people, Harry, I need more faces. I don't know how to change this. I told you, Mr. Jocelyn, I don't know how to work this. How do you make the face? Okay, I got more faces. Okay. Wow, I got a bunch of new faces. Isn't that nice? May I speak to Usha Diglacomo? Usha.
Sim, claro. Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, Usha, thank you. Usha, as I'm very much in your vibration, Usha, I see you like it's a slow, steady path. It's taken you quite a while to be able to really make the decision to follow what you know you have to follow. It's like you were doing this a long time ago, but something happened in your personal life, but now you've come back to it. And Spirit wants you to know that the decision you've made, the steps you're taking now, that will take you higher and higher and higher. I'm also hearing Spirit talking about a financial situation. There seems to be a bank situation that has to be looked into. Would you understand that, dear? Spirit says if you check into the bank records, you will see something. It'll work out very, very well for you. I want to leave you and I want to say, bless you. May I speak to Daniel Richard? Daniel. That's our Daniel. Hey, Daniel's one of our teachers. He's a specialist with mantras, and he and his wife are two of our best teachers. Well, I know Danielle and I know his family, but I was so surprised to see him. Danielle, I'm very, very much in your vibration. There are many souls who are with you, but most especially your father. And he says to tell you that even though you understand where he is, there is something with the family that has not been quite completed. I don't know if you understand that, but he says there's something that has not been completed, and it would be wise to be able to complete that. And also, Danielle, I haven't seen you for months, really, but Danielle, Spirit says to say that new doors are opening. Of course, you're a teacher, but new doors are opening, part-time work. And Daisy says to tell you, maybe you think you're going to be retiring full-time, but nothing doing. There's some part-time work that's going to be made available for you. I want to leave and I want to say, bless you. 1 minute, Harry, I need more faces. How do you make these faces come? Just slide. Just slide. Okay. Okay, just slide. I don't see anybody here. Oh, yes, I see. You're all laughing at me, but I can't help it. You know, I don't know when I was teaching at the university and they gave us free courses, but you know what? I never took a course because I said, I don't want to bother with this equipment. And that's the same reason I wear a very cheap watch. The watches don't last very long, but now I got a face. Can I speak to Dimitri Shredov or something? Dimitri?
Yeah. Hi, Marilyn. That's me.
Hi. Dimitri, thank you. Dimitri, I'm very, very much in your vibration. I'm seeing the word steadfast, highly organized. And for a long, long time, you have been sort of walking on the path, walking in the light with a determination. You may or may not realize, but you have a very, very strong gift of healing. There is a spirit of a shaman, and his name is Chief Windhorse. He is one of your spirit guides. He is with you, watching over you, and he wants you to know that this is the time to make the change you really want to make. There is a lady, I don't know if you would know her. Her name is Evgenia, something like that. I don't know if you understand that. Evgenia, something like that. She comes very, very close and she says to tell you that she is okay. There's also someone by the name of Maria who comes with you. I want to leave you and I want to say bless you. Okay. Let me see if I don't have any more faces. Wait a minute. I don't have any more. No, I'm turning it, but I don't have any more faces. Oh, wait a minute. I got a new face popped up. It came away. It went away. Here, Barbara. Barbara Ramos.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, dear. God bless you, dear. Thank you. Barbara, so I'm very, very much in your vibration. I am seeing many, many people in the other world who want to thank you for all the help that you have given over the years to so many people. But I do want to say that in your father's family, it's, oh my God, in your father's family, it seems like people change their name or they change the spelling of the name. Would you understand that? Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why there was a sort of a separation between some part of the family. But Spirit says in the heaven world, they are all very much connected and all very much united. And I want to leave you with that and say, bless you. Okay. Does anyone else want to share anything or ask anything? Oh. Anyone else want to share anything or ask anything? Hello? Oh,
yes,
I got a name here.
Yes.
Tanera Goodart. Where are you?
Hi, hello.
Hello, how are you, dear? Thank you. Raise your hand so I see you. Ah, thank you. Could you repeat your name? Pronounce your name?
Tayanara Gedir.
Okay. As I'm very, very much in your vibration, Spirit wants very, very much to encourage you, because even though you're smiling and you look so sweet, Spirit says you've really been crying a lot of tears. There's been a lot of tears and a lot of sadness. There's a man who comes very close to you, and he comes as a father. Would you understand that, dear? He comes as a father, and I have two people here. This is not a blood father, but he loved you as a father. He said there was a situation in his family which created all kinds of, challenges within the family, but they are okay now. You are extremely gifted with intuition and also with logic. And I want to leave you with that. And I want to say, bless you. God bless you. Anyone want to share anything or ask anything?
Yes. Could you read my aura, please? Marjorie?
I don't know where you are. Where are you? What's your name?
Marjorie Schramm.
Okay, let me find you. Oh my gosh. Marjorie. I don't see any Marjorie. Wait a minute. Wait a second. But I can do just by voice. I don't really need the face.
Okay,
but wait a minute. I got more faces now. Marjorie, as I'm very much in your vibration, I hear Spirit saying, steady, steady, steady does it. Ever since you were 8, 9 years of age, you were always extremely concerned about doing everything perfectly. It's almost like being a perfectionist, if you would understand it. But I'm sensing that now there seems to be, it's like your spirit, your guides, your creativity is getting ready to burst forward. And I want to leave you with that. And I want to say, bless you. May I speak to Ingrid? Where are you? Ingrid? Hello?
Yes, hi, I'm here. Good morning.
Can you say your name, both names?
Ingrid Tenes.
Yeah, you prefer English or French?
Same.
The same? Okay. Ingrid, as I'm very much in your vibration, although I hear so clearly that ever since you were a child, you were very much connected like with nature. And now you're at a point in your life right now where it's like your soul is saying, it's time to spend more time with nature. You know, we all go through things that we don't always want to talk about. But Spirit says when you were quite young, there was a situation that occurred in the family, which created a lot of trauma and a lot of sadness, if you would understand that. And Spirit says it was kind of a secret. But for you to know that in the heaven world, they are all very much okay now, very, very much at peace. Would you understand that? Also, I want to tell you something. There was a financial situation which didn't go at all the way you would have wanted it to. Do you understand that? Well, Spirit says, don't worry, because there will be sufficient. And more than the financial situation, there was a personal situation which you were hoping would work in one way, but it didn't. I want to leave you at that, and I want to say bless you. Now, what about, did I go to Fiorella Rodriguez?
Yes,
Can I talk to you?
Yes, you can talk to me.
Raise your hands, please. I want to see your hands. Oh, very good. Fiorella, thank you. Fiorella, as I'm very, very much in your vibration, I see very, very clearly right over your forehead, it says change. You're getting ready to make a change that you have wanted to make for the last several years. But I see the spirit of a child in your family. Would you understand that? Who's grown up in the other world. And that soul says, it's a girl. Her name is Maria in heaven. That soul says if she had been carried, she would not have been able to stay here. She came for what we call, or what they call, just a quick touchdown. Also, I hear a man by the name of Carlos, and I hear another man, it's a very, very unusual name, something like Joaquim, something like Joaquim. There are many souls who are surrounding you, and you are very gifted with spirit and with mediumship. I want to leave you with that, and I want to say bless you. God bless you. Is there anybody I left out who wanted a message?
Kathy.
I would like Roberto.
Where are you, Kathy?
Okay.
I'm at the top left.
Top
Where
left.
do you see them?
Yeah.
Okay, my voice, I can do it. Kathy
Okay.
used to be, Kathy years ago, 25 years ago, she was a very good volunteer here. And she was so dedicated and spoke many languages, and I haven't seen her very much, but she keeps in touch. Kathy, as I'm very, and I know you, dear, as I'm very much in your vibration, I just hear the words upward and onward. And of course, you knew Father John and sister, but I hear upward and onward. And I do want you, I mean, I know that you understand spiritualism, but your understanding is more profound than you realize. And I feel many doors opening for you to share your gifts. I see the word government over you, and I sense that there's something that is or will be connected with government around you, and it will enable you to have access to more funds. And I want to leave you with that, and I want to say bless you.
Thank you, Mother.
You're welcome, dear. Okay, Mr. Jocelyn, where are you? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, anyone want to share anything or ask anything?
Laureen, you wanted to say something? Laureen,
Me?
yes.
Not really. I'm just, when she asked who wanted a message, I put my hand up.
Okay,
all.
okay.
Mhm.
Marilyn, can you
I would like
take a
to
look?
see
I don't see
Debbie
her.
send a
Of
message.
course, I'll be very glad. What is your name, dear?
Lorraine Ayat Korb.
Okay, that's all. I would love to find you, but if I don't find you, it's okay. I can do
I'm at the top.
top. Yeah, but your top is not necessarily my top here.
Okay.
Okay, Lorraine,
Left-hand side.
name. I can just do it by the voice. Lorraine,
Okay.
as I'm very much in your vibration, right over you, I see the word creativity, and I see it actually 3 times. Spirit says, you know how creative you are, you know how intuitive you are, but somehow it's like you haven't allowed yourself to use enough of your own ability, if you would understand that. But 2022, of course, it's a new year for all of us, but 2022, 2023 will bring many, many changes to you. And I feel excitement. Spirit says, it's time to get excited. It's time to look onward. It's time to look upward. And I want to leave you, and I want to say bless you. Is there anybody else that I didn't read that wants a session?
Oui, Lucie Tanguay.
What's your name?
Lucie Tanguay.
Okay, je vais vous trouver. Lucy. I don't see Lucy. I don't
She's
see any
right.
Lucy. Where are they? Lucy. Wait a minute. Ah, maintenant je vois, ok. Lucy, quand je suis dans votre vibration, c'est très intéressant parce que je vois beaucoup de personnes. Je vois une personne, elle m'a dit, mon nom est Bibiane, Bibiane. Elle me dit qu'elle était très, très malade en avant de mort, et elle me dit que vous avez beaucoup de dons pour aider beaucoup de personnes. Mais maintenant, je vois que c'est comme vous êtes dans un grand chemin croisé dans votre vie, et vous voulez changer beaucoup de choses, mais vous pensez que ce n'est pas possible. Mais les esprits me disent qu'une chose très, très bien arriverait pour vous. Merci. OK.
Merci.
Ah, Garland, my dear Garland. Garland,
How are
we
you?
talked before, and I knew you used to come. Garland, is I'm very much in your vibration. I certainly know your background. Garland, I want to speak about your father. Your father says, I'm very sorry. And I want to tell you something, that although you've gone through a lot with groups, etc., Spirit says it's time to look onward and to look upward, and to use those experiences to be of great help to other people. I want to leave you with that, and I want to say bless you. Did I? Oh, yeah, okay. And did I speak to Brian Foner? Did I speak to you?
No, not yet, but
Would
I
you,
would
you like?
love it. Sure.
Oh, I would love it too. Brian, as I'm very much in your vibration, you may be surprised, but you are a shaman in the making. Do you understand that? You have the gift of being a shaman, and Spirit says that you've been hiding who you are from yourself and especially from others. Comprend? And now is the time we want. Father John used to say it's time to stand up, step out and be free and be who you really are. And I want to tell you something, Brian. There is a man with you, and he's very much connected with your father. I don't know if you understand that, but he comes like a father, but he's not a blood father. And now he says, and now I want to bring in father as well. Would you understand that? Because I see one on each side of you behind you, and they're very excited to be able to let you know that they're with you. But your father is talking about, I don't know the word in English or French, talking about thank you, like an old register. They had like an old cash register. Thank you. An old cash register. Sir, I want to say something to you. There are people in your heritage who died very tragically. Would you understand that? That's the one I was feeling when I first started. His name is Joseph. Oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. He's going to go to a place of rest. He says he died tragically in the war. And he says he wants you to know that he is okay and that he is at peace. And he says, thank you for all that you have done for the family. He says, and I come with Anna. I come with Anna as well. May I say to you, sir, there are people of the Jewish heritage who are around you. Would you understand that? Because I see what we call the yarmulke and praying, and there was also a rabbi there. I want to leave you with that, and I want to say that.
Wow.
It's okay. Let the tears flow. Let the tears flow. So I want to say to all of you, I don't know when I don't know when we're going to open the center. As soon as we hold our public services at the YMCA on Drummond, as soon as they open, we'll open. And I want to invite you, because you come with Mr. Vinesh, I will invite you all to one free class so that I can encourage you to awaken your gifts. Just this group. I mean, not all of his thousands of people, but this group of how better you are. So you remember, I owe you a free class to develop mediumship. And once the center opens, I will arrange with Mr. Vinesh, with really Vinesh and his wife. It's like a sister and brother to me. I will arrange with them, and they will come, and we'll have a session here of showing you how to awaken your own gifts of spirit. And I want to leave you with that, and I want to say bless you.
We have one more question before
Why not?
we go. It's from Barbara Ramos. Barbara?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't want to interrupt the readings, but thank you. You always have such many blessings. And I wanted to better understand when you said, like, be open to the spirit signals and symbols. How do we differentiate when it's our own conscious or ideas and when it's
very important question. Well, it's actually also, once we know the symbols, we can understand the dreams of many people are aware of some of their dreams. So we ask ourselves, say you get a thought or you see something, then the first question I repeat, is it a universal symbol like a bird? Is it a universal symbol, the sky? Or is it a personally conditioned symbol? Maybe what's a personally conditioned symbol? I mean, a culturally conditioned symbol. What would it be? It would be someone sitting cross-legged, or the namaste, or the om. So that would be a cultural symbol. If I see an om, that's going to tell me right away that it's someone who understood the teachings of yoga or the Far East or Buddhism. A personally conditioned symbol is something that happened and it has a significance. Like, for instance, if I am seeing, let's say I will see Daisy's my spirit guide. Her name is Daisy. So I will know right away that that's a spirit guide. It's with practice and it's not hard to understand. For people who understand dreams, I always encourage people to read the work of Carl Jung, Man and His Symbols. That's a very good place to start.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. We had this session today and we didn't have to take any break. So we were so engaged and it was wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Marilyn.
And God willing,
Thank you.
God willing, as this pandemic finishes, I will go again to Vinesh's place. They always treat me so well. And she knows what an extremely strict vegan vegetarian I am. And she always has wonderful food for all of us. So we want to thank, really, we want to thank Mr. Saxena for all the dedicated work he does and continues to do. And let us all support one another, encourage one another. And as we say here, Om Namah Shivaya.
I'm sorry, Marilyn. Before you go, I didn't want to push it, but I wanted to ask you if you can help me to have any message from my spirits. I didn't want to ask it, but
Oh, she's already left.
she already left. Anyway.
Maybe he can go to the class.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's go.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you guys.
All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time once again. And soon we'll send you the link for the recording so you can review. And also we'll send you the invitation for the next event very soon. I wish all of you a wonderful Sunday and a nice week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.